Hi, and welcome to the Vlogger Interviews. Happy holidays. Today I've got a special treat for you. Bill Elder. You might know him on YouTube as BillTVMacon, and he's one of my favorite vloggers. Not only because he's just really good at it, which isn't surprising since he has over 30 years behind him as a DJ and as a broadcaster, but also because he's one of the few vloggers I know that has an appeal that extends from young vloggers to older vloggers. Anyway, without further ado, the Vlogger Interviews. Let me start off by asking you when this all really clicked for you. When did you finally? I know you started, I think, by responding to other videos like a lot of people do. But when did this click for you? When did you realize that you really were going to like this?
Well, at my age, nothing has clicked since 1967. But in YouTube, I guess it started for me when I started doing video responses to people. I had a really good experience with Rogue Blue Jay, who was then Jardine 64, and some other people who were just kind of encouraging me, because the whole thing didn't start making video. I was uploading old content. Bill TV was the name I gave a video that I would send to people every Christmas. It would be like a year's, it was sort of a year's capsule of everything that had happened. And so I was sending those out, and then I started putting that content on YouTube, because that's what was on YouTube when I started. It was a lot of copyrighted material, and that had to stop. So about the time I got everything uploaded, they said, you need to get rid of all this. And so then I started watching, and when I watched other people and saw how they did things, I thought, well, maybe this is the way it's supposed to be. And so I guess where it clicked earlier than just video responses is you start watching a group of people, and one group will lead to another group. It's like the intros. I never knew that there were videos that didn't have intros, but when Charlie would do one, and Allie did one, and Joe would do it, all these people that I follow, they had a little beginning and then an intro and then the rest of the thing. I thought that was what you had to do, and so I made an intro and started. So I guess it just in baby steps along the way is when everything kind of clicked. There wasn't like an aha moment, but and video responses, of course, was probably the best way to meet people and then to get yourself shouted out.
So is community really the prime attraction for a lot of people, you think?
It is for me. I mean, if you think about what happens, I mean, a lot of people make videos, and there are a lot of places to put videos. I have a Vimeo account that really nothing ever happens with it, but it's in the, and this is what I think YouTube has to be careful of, is they want to go into more professional content, and they've made that clear. But this community that we have, this constant liking, sharing, friending sort of thing that goes on. I mean, that's really the thing, the glue that holds all of it together. I mean, you can get up in the morning and have a conversation with somebody overseas. You can talk to 3 or 4 people around the world before you even go to lunch. So, and it's not just YouTube, it's all of these other things that make up the totality of the YouTube experience, I guess. The more the Facebooks and the Skypes and the
whole social media element, basically.
I think so. I mean, everybody wants to be everything. I mean, Facebook would love to have you just go there and never leave, but I don't think that's a good idea.
I mean, there's actually some of my people I've interviewed who were on in the early days talk about how it all used to be centered here, and now it's sort of the conversations are spread amongst all these other sources.
But don't you think that's a good idea, though? Because if one goes or falls out of favor, there's always another place where things pick up. Like Twitter. Do you use Twitter?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and because that's right, guys. I saw you posted last night. I posted about being on this interview, and then you posted, and so there's that interaction that goes on, and you almost have a conversation that way sometimes.
And I think in terms of that idea of community, it strengthens it, because it's not centered on a particular brand like YouTube, like Facebook, but it strengthens the if we can call it that, the brand of community.
Exactly.
So, go ahead.
No, but the nice thing is that you do have options. For videos, maybe not so much, because YouTube is kind of the biggest and baddest, but for other ways, there's so much more to it than just making a video and putting it up on YouTube.
And there's the other part of it that you've had a lot of fun with the collaborations, the Ali Chris Bill collaboration. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, ACB. Yeah, it was it just
Bill,
fell out of the sky, and we were. It started when Allie was doing a blog TV. There's another one of those interactive things, and so I was on there, and Chris was on there, and I had done something for Chris called a chin wag, which is when he interviewed me, and it was a 10-minute thing, and Allie made a comment that Chris was able to hold his attention for 10 minutes on a video, which is an awful long time. And we started chatting in this blog TV thing that he was doing, and it got to be pretty funny. And so we said, I wonder what would happen if we all tried to do something together. And it was so we took just clips from each other's videos and put them together into one, and we said, wow, this is kind of funny. So we thought we'd try some original material. And we did almost 2 years of it, and everybody kind of, started growing up and having other things to do,
Well, it also, I mean,
it's the best creativity experience I've ever had. It really is.
You're talking about people on 3 different continents.
Well, yeah. Chris and Allie. Well, Allie then was in Australia for a time, and then he's back in England again. But yeah, exactly right. And it was done just simply by somebody saying a topic, and we record a few lines or a couple of minutes of what we thought, and then send it to whoever was going to edit, because anybody could edit, and we just slapped it together, and up it went.
And one of the great things that you're just one of the greatest ambassadors for vlogging that I've seen, because you can talk to people across all age groups very effectively, which not a lot of people, at least I don't see a lot of people on YouTube that can do that as effectively as you can.
Oh, you're very kind. You're obviously grading above the curve, but I think it depends on your attitude when you come. I mean, if you're accepting, like if somebody just doesn't want to see some old man on YouTube, they're not gonna be drawn to me anyway, and I totally understand that. It's their choice. But if you're open to everything that YouTube gives you, and that's another great thing, is tolerance of things that aren't the same where you are. You learn to look outside of your own comfort zone, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I've been very fortunate that it has a lot to do with being honest about who you are and what you want to do, and doing what you'll say you do. I think that has a lot to do with it too.
If you have you ever had to explain vlogging to people who are completely uninitiated and try to make them understand what this is all about?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. I mean, I know you have. I mean, so what do you tell people when they ask, what is this thing on YouTube that you do?
Well, I tell them, look at the interviews that I'm doing and learn from these other people.
Well, and that's kind of the same way that I am. You do things in the hopes that somebody is going to appreciate it and enjoy it, and maybe just make the world a little smaller and better. But I just tell them, just watch this and so, in fact, I had an interesting conversation with somebody who was, I think, college age, and they were mentioning a YouTube channel, and then a friend of mine had walked up, and he commented on a video that I'd done recently, and the guy looked at me like, he was having a grand mal seizure or something, like, you have a channel on YouTube? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, you don't make content for this channel, do you? I said, yeah, I do. And then he said, well, what do you do?
See, I've had the same experience.
I can figure it out. I really don't know what I do, but I'm not going to give you the name of the channel either now. So
one of the things that I'm also interested in is the fact that a lot of these young vloggers, they're the equivalent of when I was, 11, 12, 15 years old making films. They're the modern day equivalent, which is, a universe apart from when we were making films and just showing them to our family and our friends.
And they're so comfortable being in front of a camera. I think that's the difference between my generation and theirs, is that they're born with a smartphone and a camera, and from the minute that they were born, they've had a video camera taping their every move and step, by proud parents or grandparents or whatever. And that's something that you and I didn't have. But I grew up in an industry where I did a morning show on radio, and so your morning guy had to do the TV commercials. So I had a little more camera experience as you probably did too. You probably had an interest in broadcasting at a pretty early age.
Mm-hmm. So. Definitely. Well, like I said, I was making films since I was 11. So
see, yeah. But it's nothing better to do for a living what you love to do, though.
What do you think from seeing this and seeing how everyone's been interacting? What do you think the future of this sort of platform is? I mean,
gosh, a lot of it depends on the people that are providing space to do it. I think people are more than willing to continue as long as what they have doesn't go away. I mean, everything that YouTube does and anything beyond just generally what you and I do in the basic community is going to kind of be bread on the butter, because what they really depend on, and you'll notice that they've started partnering a lot more people like me and you and this, and so I'm kind of happy about that, because it means that everybody will make a little money and they'll get more money for YouTube, and they won't start charging. Although I mentioned this to somebody, and I don't know how it went over, but I said I would pay to have a banner at the top of my page. I'd pay $1 a month. Just because the design needs something up there from whether either they add it themselves, and there's just some little things that would make it really nice for your traditional YouTuber. But when Google bought them, they made it plain that they wanted to make money, and I think that's what they're trying to do. And television's changing too. The viewership of traditional terrestrial TV has gone down a bit. So I think stumbled on to what is going to be the future of what we watch. Maybe an a la carte type of situation eventually.
Thank you, Bill. Make sure you check out Bill's channel, BillTVMacon. Now, I also wanted to take a moment to thank you for your support of the vlogger interviews. I've been doing this for a couple of months, having a great time. I thank you for your comments, your participation. And on my next vlog, I'm going to throw out a few ideas about where this can go from here. And I really, really would appreciate your feedback. I will see you next time. Have a great holiday. Take care.